Hi, I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks.
Hi, welcome to Money Talks. Today I'm with Don Heckel at Third Coast Bicycles, the new location of Third Coast Bicycles. That's the reason for the show. And you're at 401 6th Street, so the corner of College and 6th, still right in the heart of downtown, and you moved from a much smaller shop. And then coincidentally, you moved right about at your 5-year mark in business.
Correct, yeah. May 8th of this year was our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah. Now, I know it's super early. You haven't even got your upstairs in order the way you like it yet, but what sort of indications, if any, do you have about this move to this location and how it's working out?
We're seeing a lot of faces that we haven't seen before, so I don't
thing.
know if that's a function of just being on a higher traveled street, and maybe some other factors as well. But, so that's a good sign. Yeah,
That's a really good
busy.
sign.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Let's just talk about some of the reasons that you moved here. You mentioned visibility, much greater visibility. You were on 3rd Street, a funny little segment of downtown.
A little pass-through street, a little turnaround street for a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously that's a key reason, but talk about the square footage change.
We went from about 1,100 square feet up to about almost 4,000, so it's much bigger. Our service area itself is probably close to what we had dedicated to retail over at the other shop. So, and then we have 2 levels here of about 1,600 square feet apiece.
That's got to work out a lot better in the service department, not having to bang elbows. And
For
things like
sure,
that, right?
for sure. We had just room for maybe 2 people at the old spot, and that's pushing it. Now we've got room for easily 4 mechanics that can work back there and be efficient and effective.
And you mentioned you actually have a basement for storage as well, right?
We do. We did at the other space as well. This one's
okay.
a little more linear. Once we get it set up, it'll be much more efficient, I think, for us.
I wanted to ask you right out of the gate, I forgot, but explain the name, Third Coast Bicycles.
Third Coast is East Coast. You've got the East Coast, the West Coast, you've got the Lake Michigan coast. So that's kind of what it refers to. It's actually, I believe, refers back to major industrial days, 1800s, 1900s, when it'd be as far north as Sheboygan, all the way around through Gary and up to Michigan. So that whole area is referred to as the Third Coast.
Yeah. Now, your shop offers the main brand you have is Giant Bikes.
Exactly.
Talk about that brand a little bit. I don't know if everyone in the Midwest is necessarily really familiar with it.
Probably not. They've been around since 1973. They are actually one of the largest bicycle manufacturers in the world. They make frames for other companies as well. To name a few, Trek, some European brands as well. Probably one of the best values out there as well. They are one of the only 2 bike companies, manufacturers that actually draw their own tube. So they that's kind of the lowest level, the most common denominator. They manufacture, so they kind of bring that cost down.
And where's the manufacturer?
They're Taiwanese.
Oh.
Taiwanese. They are overseas in Taiwan. They also have factories in China, just like most everything nowadays.
Right. Now you offer rentals, service, and sales, obviously. What's been your experience over there roughly, the split between those 3 things, and do you think that will change at all in the new location?
Yeah, I think probably about 5% rentals, 5 to 10% from what I saw.
And let's stay with that. How many rental bikes do you have?
We've got some right here. We've got probably about 10 to 15, and we'll grow that now because what we want to do is be able to have them out, quick access out the door.
Yeah.
And if you don't really, they're more casual bikes that we rent. I want to be able to rent some of the higher end bikes as well for the Ironmans in town and stuff like that. So currently we don't offer that, but so 10 to 15 rentals, about 5% of 5 to 10% of what we do. And service and sales probably 60-40, sales to service.
Okay.
Yeah. 70-30, roughly speaking. I thought when we first opened up that the rentals would be kind of our niche down here, and it's, I couldn't believe how many bikes we sold in our first year.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're saying it's not that the rentals were so poor, you're
Not
saying
at all.
you sold more bikes than you
Yeah,
expected.
exactly. It's a relative thing, for sure.
Yeah,
The rentals have been great, yeah.
One thing I may as well talk about right now, and you said you've been getting questions about this virtually every day, which is we happen to be recording this on toward the end of May 2015, and Racine Cyclery, your other competitor in town, is very, very near the end of a retirement, a permanent closing. I'm sure you're not necessarily, well, I don't know how you feel about it, but what's it done for your business, and what do you think it's going to do until some other entity should come into the Racine area?
With that said, that's why I'm a little bit ambivalent about it.
Yeah.
Lose a Void, obviously they were a huge, asset to the community. Congratulations to them. By the way. Hopefully I can get to that point today. But I think just naturally, service is probably going to tick up a little bit for us. I can't help but think that. Sales, it's hard to say, because you've got a lot of people that are really dedicated to that Trek brand. Like you mentioned before, a lot of people might not know that Giant brand. So hopefully we can get them in here, and it's all shown that there's not much of a difference at all, and we kind of pride ourselves on our customer service and kind of win those customers over. So I think it's at least in this first year, until somebody may fill that void at a bigger place out in Milwaukee, or who knows where.
Right.
I think it can only help us a little bit.
Yeah. So why did you choose the Giant brand?
Value for sure. It's a bit more of a business decision. If I was to carry that Trek brand, I would be buying at a slightly different wholesale price than Racine Cycling, and having it sell at the same price, so it would affect my margins. And I'm familiar with the Giant brand. I worked at a large shop in Milwaukee for a number of years. We carried a Giant Trek Specialized Cannondale, and Giant always was the better value in all of those brands, and just as high quality. So I thought it was a good decision for us.
And you said you can get other brands, but
we can get other brands, but Giant is our main brand for sure. And with machines like we're going or closing, who knows what's going to happen. I'm not committing into anything. Giant's been great to us. It's a good relationship that we have with them. So, for instance, they sell a $360 shop quality blade. There's not many brands that can touch that price. Where some of the other brands start about maybe $450, $420. It's quite a bit, especially considering the area we are. It's a little bit.
Let's come back to the new shop for a second.
Sure.
What are you using? You mentioned you have service on the first floor, of course, and obviously you have bicycles here, but what are going to be the differences? What will the second floor be for?
Yeah, the first floor is going to be more your recreational, casual, utilitarian style bikes, probably from that $360 price point up to maybe $800 or so. And then we'll have the associated helmets with them, because there is a difference between your recreational helmet, your casual rider, and the stuff that somebody's a little more serious uses. So that'll be kind of the first floor: bags, accessories, bike racks. Upstairs, we're going to have that dedicated to more road, mountain bike, and cyclocross type of more specific kind of uses.
Okay.
We'll have that split up there, men's on one side, women's on the other side, with their associated clothing, helmets, shoes, saddles, and stuff like that.
Do you have a dressing area?
We don't currently. We're trying to figure out how to get one in there, but we have a much nicer restroom than we have at other space. So if they have to use that for now, that usually works. But yeah, we're trying to figure out how to incorporate just a small unisex. Essentially, we're not going to have a ton of clothing. We'll have a couple different price points in bibs and shorts, and then probably just a shop jersey and maybe some other real basic stuff. So.
I took a peek up there before, and you also have a lounge area. What is that all about?
It's a very informal lounge area. We've got group rides we do out of here. We've got a club that we sponsor, so to speak, Rat City Racers. Our group rides, we come back, we have some coffee, sometimes we'll have other beverages and just hang out for a little bit and chat about the ride and upcoming events or races that we're going to do. Because we ride together, but we've also become a tight group of friends as well. So, and it's open to customers as well. I don't want people to think that it's, come in and hang out and lounge about. But when we're doing bike fits up there, or you're shopping for a bike, it's a nice area to sit down. It's something just a little bit different.
And so is it possible to answer the question of what's popular in bikes, or is it always just it depends?
What's popular in bikes is, it depends. Manufacturers are really good at what's old is new again. But right now, I have to say the fat bikes. I think people have seen some of those on the roads with the real big fat tires, 4 to 5 inches in width.
Is that just all about making a softer ride when you go over cracks in the pavement and things?
Initially, when they came out, more about snow, riding in the snow and maybe the sand. So flotation, so it's a very low pressure tire, about 8 psi versus road racing bike at 110, 120. But very fun. So what we're finding is these people are buying these bikes and then they're riding them all year round because it's a lot of fun. So you do get a little shock absorption. It's a little bit more comfortable ride. You can ride them on the sand. Probably one of the hard pack sand is a lot easier. Just a lot of fun. I bring them on our pub crawls that we do. So it's fun. Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, Don, good luck in the new location. It looks like you're off to a good start. Again, we've been at Third Coast Bicycles with Don Heckel at the corner of 6th and College in downtown Racine. I'm Michael Burke. Thanks to our producer / biker, Greg Shaver, and we'll see you next time.